Address some important conversations happening across the WNBA, including remarks made earlier this week by Nafisa Khalid.
Nobody was ready for what unfolded after the WNBA commissioner allegedly got word of a seemingly harmless advertisement. What was supposed to be just another Caitlin Clark sponsorship spot quickly spiraled into behind-the-scenes chaos. Emergency phone calls, tense boardroom conversations, an eerie stretch of radio silence that spoke volumes. The twist? There was nothing inappropriate about the ad itself. It followed the rules. What it truly disrupted wasn't policy, but pride. And as the dust settled, the fallout revealed far more than the commercial ever explicitly said.
One of the moments a lot of people has been waiting on, of course, Caitlin Clark now has her own brand logo with Nike, and everybody's been like, where's the love? Where's the rest of the love been? We've been very critical of Nike on this channel for that. I would have loved to have seen Caitlin Clark say, you know what? I'm going to get away from my agent. I'm going to get away from Nike. I'm going to go with somebody else. Agent and brand representation for shoes and other athletes.
Christmas Day was supposed to be untouchable, not in a spiritual sense, but in the business world, where email notifications go silent, devices stop buzzing, and corporate leaders act as if their year-long disasters have politely agreed to take a 24-hour break.
In my statement, but I have the utmost respect for Nafisa and for every single player in our league. They are at the center of everything we do. I was disheartened to hear that some players feel the league and me personally do not care about them or listen to them. And if the players in the W don't feel appreciated and valued by the league, then we have to do better and I have to do better. We know how great these players are on and off the court, how much they mean to our league, our fans, and our communities. If they don't feel that, I will do everything I can to change that. No one should ever.
The WNBA's top leadership was counting on exactly that kind of pause. After months of sky-high viewership, non-stop controversies, locker room drama, and online battles that felt more like celebrity feuds than real sports debate, silence seemed less like a luxury and more like salvation.
Giving us a commercial, stirring up some buzz, giving us a potential release date, a time frame for when her shoe's going to come out, her signature collection already slowly starting to trickle out.
The plan was simple. Let the sports media focus on football scores, holiday basketball matchups, and festive wardrobe disasters instead of women's hoops drama. Then Nike showed up at 10 a.m. sharp and proved that tranquility was completely overrated.
Hey, this is dropped on Christmas. They waited to Christmas. I assume this will probably come out during NBA basketball today. Caitlin Clark's quote from Anywhere Nike ad features Travis Scott and the Kelsey brothers. They are in this ad. We're one step closer to Caitlin Clark's signature shoe unveiling. But before that, the moment has arrived in 2026. Nike has released the first official spot centered around the women's basketball superstar.
This didn't come through league channels, team accounts, or any WNBA control platform that could be softened, reframed, or carefully explained away. Nike went straight to the public with a polished, bold, and completely unapologetic 30-second statement, putting Caitlin Clark front and center. In an instant, a quiet holiday morning turned into a full-blown crisis at league headquarters. This wasn't a typical shoe ad. It was Nike making it clear they were playing by their own rules.
First official Nike ad for her merchandise line for the CC logo with all of it dropped, and it is so good. And then they went and dropped a second one. They're both on her Instagram. I'm going to show you some of the first. First of all, it features some heavy hitters. Second of all, the way that it features so many places that were important to Caitlin Clark is just so thoughtful and incredible. Her neighborhood in West Des Moines, the University of Iowa, the Indiana Fever, the New Heights spot, like everywhere.
So why would a single advertisement reportedly send the commissioner into full holiday panic mode? To understand that, you have to understand how the WNBA has traditionally operated. For years, the league has leaned into collective thinking, where the organization comes before any individual. The brand takes priority and promotion is spread evenly so no one player overshadows the whole operation. On paper, it's principled, safe, and collaborative. In reality, that philosophy collapses the moment a true superstar enters the picture. Enter Caitlin Clark, backed by Nike and swinging a wrecking ball with its logo stamped on it. This commercial went far beyond standard sports marketing. It felt more like a feature film trailer, packed with winter landscapes, cinematic shots, and cultural weight dripping from every frame, capped off with appearances by people wealthy enough to buy multiple WNBA teams without a second thought.
Sporting Goods giving Caitlin Clark her own part of the website. We've been on Nike's neck as of lately. Dare I say, this actually shows some creativity? Dare I say this Caitlin Clark is proof that you can make it from anywhere is brilliant? Let's take a look. Make it from anywhere, of course. Of course, at face value, anywhere on the court.
What was left out spoke just as loudly as what made the final cut. There were no prominent league logos and no suggestion that this was about elevating women's basketball as a collective. The spotlight landed on one individual, one brand, one vision, one statement. She wasn't operating within the system. She was defining it. That's where the fury allegedly began to simmer. When your job is built around preserving balance, image, and authority, watching a major sponsor publicly signal that your approval is irrelevant feels less like marketing and more like open rebellion. Nike didn't just feature Caitlin Clark. They elevated her beyond the league itself. There were no permission requests, no coordination, no performative collaboration. They hit publish and let social media do the rest. Board members started asking uncomfortable questions. And in the middle of that chaos, the commissioner reportedly realized the landscape had shifted. While she focused on keeping everything neatly aligned, the commercial made things worse by leaving out what mattered most of the league. No WNBA highlight reels and no acknowledgement of league legacy.
Shoe is on her way. Yesterday on Christmas, Nike finally dropped a commercial featuring Caitlin Clark and her new Nike logo. Last year, she signed an 8-year deal for $24 million with Nike, which includes a signature shoe. And then we hadn't heard anything about it for forever. Now she's finally getting a commercial showing her shoe is on the way. And while the commercial's not up to like Asia Wilson levels of fun, it's still a cute little commercial featuring shooting her signature logo 3, stating from anywhere, meaning she can shoot from anywhere. And the commercial has cute little Easter eggs featuring like her upward team from when she was a kid, her driver from where she used to practice.
There were no visual cues suggesting the superstar operated within any larger framework. The ad lived entirely in Clark's personal world. Her driveway became a stage, snowfall set the mood, and distance turned into metaphor. The message was unmistakable. Her influence stretches beyond arenas, organizations, and even geography. From anywhere wasn't just marketing copy. It was a warning. League executives reportedly felt that warning hit like a freight train. For years, there had been an unspoken agreement. Sponsors and leagues move in lockstep. You elevate the brand, we elevate you. You sell products, we sell tickets. This ad shattered that understanding. Nike made it clear their loyalty didn't rest with WNBA institutional branding. The timing only intensified the fallout. Not long before, the commissioner had publicly championed an equity-focused venture as the future of the game, a solution for off-season exposure and player pay. Yet behind closed doors, that same venture allegedly offered Caitlin Clark unprecedented money, minimal time commitment, and a chance to headline another experimental league. She reportedly declined without hesitation.
On this one, we have been waiting for Caitlin Clark to make her return to the Kelsey Brothers New Heights podcast. She made her way back and talked about her new sneaker that's going to be dropping. They're going to be better than Jordans, better than Kobe's, all of that. All of that. I can't wait to get mine. I can't wait.
But the one thing I'm frustrated with is I think she has the worst marketing team ever. I've never seen a marketing team that allows a player to completely alienate her consumer base. Guys, I didn't watch a shoe commercial. What I watched was Nike still trying to do a diversity.
At the time, the narrative suggested she was making a mistake, walking away from an opportunity to elevate the sport, choosing comfort over obligation. Then Christmas morning arrived, and Nike's commercial raced that storyline in just 30 seconds. The metrics told a brutal story. Clark's ad generated more engagement in 24 hours than competing leagues' entire launch strategy managed in total. Not slightly more, but exponentially more. These were the kinds of numbers that caused presentation slides to quietly disappear from executive meetings. The reality became impossible to ignore. The league had manufactured Caitlin Clark stardom. The star was dragging the league forward by herself. Once that truth sets in, negotiating leverage evaporates. Superstars don't work for free. This looked like Super Bowl level advertising, not a casual holiday drop. And every frame screamed serious investment. The contrast was glaring. Caitlin Clark stood at the center of a massive marketing machine, while her actual league still struggles with basic production quality, limited broadcast reach, and paychecks that pale next to her outside earning power. The ad didn't just sell products. It exposed a growing chasm between individual value and organizational compensation.